Good afternoon, Wealth Our Way Nation. What is going on? It is your man, Charles Tank Harris, the founder and chief visionary officer of the financial literacy platform, Wealth Our Way, where our motto is wealth is not only for the wealthy. Welcome to episode 32. I messed up the episodes the other day. I said 30 and I had already did 30. Yesterday was 31. Today is 32. It's entitled Don't Be Afraid. And by the time this episode is over, you will fully understand what I mean by that. I want to say thank you to each and every one of you who are with me live as we stream across the Wealth Our Way Facebook and YouTube platforms. I want to give a special salute and shout out to Wealth Our Way Nation that watches this program pre-recorded overnight during the weekend, wherever they can squeeze 15 minutes of financial literacy in. And of course, a heartfelt how you doing to the Life 101 platform that listens to the pre-recorded audio of this program. Don't be afraid, good people. You know, when I'm in church, and I don't make it as frequently as I should, my pastor has a saying that I'm sure a lot of pastors have. He says, you could either worry or you can trust in God. Now, I, by no stretch of the imagination, liken myself to a steadfast force like God. God is above all of me. But I will say this. You are in the right place for financial literacy information. I have to do a little horn tooting right now as I look at the economic landscape. And I go back. Once again, it is a brave endeavor to come out here every day and record a program that is indelibly burned onto the internet for all to review and go back and look at. I'd never do anything like the famous Joe Namath prediction of a victory in a Super Bowl. But what I am constantly telling you guys is that time-tested financial values never go away. We live in an era where charlatans, get rich quick, hustlers, whatever you want to call them, do a much better job than your man Big Tank marketing themselves. They got slick, glossy ads. They got catchy names and titles and phrases, and they are promising an easy road to riches. The only person or peoples that get rich on that road are those people promising you the road. It never works out. I have been telling you all year, since the beginning of the year, that we are in for inflation. Now, of course, everybody, MSNBC, CNN, Forbes, Barron's, everybody's talking about inflation. Big Tank told you about inflation back in January. I also told you we are in for a stock market correction, a huge one that we have not seen yet. I'm telling you it's coming. Why? Am I a doom and gloom predicting guy? No, I am not. What I am is logical and a student of the markets. The reality is that over the last year, just use your eyes. Don't even get yourself all confused. I get people who call me every day. I got to digress and say this. I get people who call me every day trying to learn, and I love that they're trying to learn, but they're trying to understand every inner working of an investment or insurance or cryptocurrency. And my question to you is this what you want to do for a living? Because if it is, I could use some help. Come sit on the program with me and let's learn you up and let's go talk about this all day. The reality is this is not what 98.5% of the world needs to be doing with their time. This is my job. This is what I do with my time. You should go do what you do with your job and dedicate a small portion of your time to being educated. That's what this program is for. It is to educate you. If you want to spend all day in front of 4 computer screens, fancying yourself as a Forex or a crypto or an options trader, I'm not the dude that you should even be listening to. I'm trying to tell you how to steadily increase your net worth and grow toward legacy wealth. Very simple. In a nutshell, what I'm trying to teach you how to do. It will not happen overnight. I'm going to show you corrective actions with your credit, corrective actions with your tax reduction, corrective actions with your savings. Next week, we're going to have corrective actions with income producing activities. I taught you how to buy houses. I'm going to show you the nuts and bolts way to better allocate your assets, make sure your investment portfolios are correct, and move forward. It's not going to be sexy. I apologize. If you came for sexy, I'll try and get Idris Elba on the show. But Big Tank is not about the sexy. I'm about making it do what it's supposed to do. And I'm excited right now. I don't know if you can hear my excitement or see my grin, because as part of my job, I have to, unfortunately, go around the internet and look at what these other people are doing and saying, and then actually get the firm, real news of what's going on in the world. And it is just validating what I have been telling you guys all along. Even when I brought up that you should start looking into cryptocurrency, I'm the guy that told you take anywhere between 0 and 8% of what you have and think about Bitcoin. These alternative coins, I don't know about that. Now, Big Tank, I have a little bit higher level of aptitude. There are a couple of coins outside of Bitcoin that I buy. I've never told you guys about them because it's not what you should be looking at. You should be looking at Bitcoin, getting an understanding of it on a good enough level that you feel comfortable putting a small amount of money in. When it comes to stocks and bonds, the exact same thing. I had somebody text me that I've known for a very long time, tell me that they have too much money that they put into their IRA because now they have an emergency and they need some money. And what's the penalty for taking it out of their IRA? Fortunately, they listened to me and they got a Roth IRA and they can take back their contribution whenever they want to. But the first mistake was putting too much money in. If you guys listen to me, I always tell you to put the moderate amount into different things. Do what you can afford. And investment is something you'll constantly hear me refer to Warren Buffett, the Oracle of Omaha, one of the greatest investors in history. He says you buy very, very reluctantly. You invest very reluctantly. You do your homework. You make sure you're right. You sell never. Once you're in, you're in. If you are putting too much money into your savings, into your IRAs, into your brokerage accounts, that's the first mistake. It doesn't matter if that money triples or doubles in there. If you're going to need it back in 13 weeks, it shouldn't be tied up in the first place. You have to get in where you fit in. That's your lane. Everybody who hears my voice has a lane. Find your lane. Somebody may have $5 a month to start their program with. Somebody else may have $5,000 a month. Don't look over in the other lane. Look in your lane. Your lane is going to work for you. When I say don't be afraid, I'm saying that because if you are within the sound of my voice, if you have been on the website, if you have looked or listened to previous broadcasts, you are getting the good information. You are not getting predictions as to what stock to buy. I'm sorry. In the early days, some of my very good friends would get on here and put in the comments, what do you think about this stock? What do you think about this coin? I don't answer because that's not what I do. If you think you're going to build long-term wealth because you pick Amazon before Amazon blows up, you're mistaken. Let me promise you that. If you think you're going to become a gazillionaire because you invest in cannabis when cannabis is new to the world, you're mistaken. That is not how wealth is built. Wealth is built by understanding these time-tested principles, understanding inflation. Inflation, we had a whole week on inflation. Inflation is not a real thing. Let's be very clear. Inflation would not naturally happen. Inflation is your government, my government, taking advantage of us. It is the government naturally raising, or I should say unnaturally, artificially raising the price of things so that we have an economy that is built on leverage, built on taking on debt that we have to pay interest on. So we're going to have to take a future dollar and pay for something that we bought today. So if we do not make that dollar go up by raising interest rates, then we can't pay back our debt. So we rise that nominal feature, which in reverse causes inflation because now the money that we actually have is worth less. It buys less. Its purchasing power is weaker. So you are now, this is why people are talking about cryptocurrency. There's a word I want you guys to commit to memory. I'm actually going to type it into the comments. It's called debase. Debase means you can't lose value. Debasing is you're losing value, and cryptocurrency cannot be debased. So if you have savings, if you have $1 million sitting in a bank account and you say, I got $1 million today, the government can raise the price of goods and services around you through inflationary measures. So your $1 million that you're sitting there today with isn't worth $1 million in 10 years. It has been debased. The base has been taken off. It's debased. Cryptocurrency cannot be debased because you cannot devalue it because it doesn't have a natural peg against a fiat currency. It has a moving peg against a fiat currency. And we've talked about before that fiat currencies are the monies that governments hand out. In America, it's the dollar. In Europe, it's the euro. In Japan, it's the yen. In China, it's the yuan. So you have to understand that if you are gaining knowledge every day by listening to this program and then doing the work that I say on the program, and I promise you guys that as WOW University unravels itself, WOW University is my baby. I've been working on it for a year and I want it to be right. That's why it's slow to come out. There are going to be elements of WOW University that I'm giving away free, just like this program. And when WOW University rolls out, this program will still exist for free. For those of you who cannot afford to pay for financial help, that's why I created Wealth Our Way. I make enough money off of the people who pay for my services, who get more than glossary information. They get the deep dive. They get help. I was on Zoom meetings last night till 11 o'clock last night, going over retirement plans. Up this morning, creating asset allocations and helping people invest in their IRAs. For that, I'm compensated. This is my labor of love. This is me telling you that what Smith Barney taught me, what Payne Weber taught me, what NyLife Securities taught me, what Colonial Life taught me, what I learned when I started Athletic Business Management and the Sports and Entertainment Financial Group, everything that I've ever learned from working in financial services, I'm here to share with you. But I have to share it in a way that works for you. If I tell you how to do something that's way more complicated than you're ready to learn, it doesn't help you. You don't give an Uzi to a 5-year-old. You give it to a Marine, and he or she knows what to do with it. So I want you to stay in your lane. And if you have questions, ask them. And if you have topics you want to know about, ask them. But you can rewind the tape, as I like to say, and look at the things that I've told you about doing. Dollar cost averaging. If you ended up getting into cryptocurrency and you threw all your money into it, it went down from 60,000. Bitcoin went from 60,000 to 30,000 in a 4 or 5 week period. You hate cryptocurrency now. But if you took $1,000 a week and put it in cryptocurrency, as I suggested, I told you the dollar cost average, 60,000, dropped to 52,000, dropped to 50,000, dropped to 48, dropped to 41, dropped to 37, dropped to 32, dropped to 30. You kept putting 1,000, 1,000, 1,000, 1,000 in. Now it's back up to 40s. I don't even watch it every day. I'm smarter than those people who want to watch it every day. But now it's back up to 40. You didn't lose any money. That's why you dollar cost average into investments, stock market, bond market, cryptocurrencies. All I can do is tell you, I love you guys. I don't know everybody that watches, but I know enough of you guys, and I love you. And I promise you, you are in the right place. Do not be afraid. Do not fear. The financial knowledge that you are gaining here for your 15 minutes, you are paying me every day in 15-minute intervals. The time that you are investing, you are getting a return on it. You are learning better than the people who follow these charlatans who promise them they can get rich and set up things that they know that they'll never follow through with. It's like a gym membership, just cranking out gym memberships, knowing you're not going to come. I'm not here to do that to you. So please, please, please know and be comforted by the fact that you are in the right place, getting the right information, review past episodes. Let's come back tomorrow. We're going to wrap up the week and prepare for alternate streams of income next week. We're going to talk about Turo, maybe a little Airbnb. We're going to talk about some things that I've been studying so I can share the inside information with you. Love you guys. Can't wait to see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day. And remember, wealth is not only for the wealthy. Take care.